All right, let's just dive right in. We are absolutely swimming in amazing AI tools, right? But for a lot of us, that's just not turning into more productivity. It kind of feels like the opposite sometimes. So, what is going on?
You've probably felt this yourself, this AI overload. It feels like we're constantly on the hunt for that one perfect tool that's going to solve all our problems. But here's the thing. The answer isn't another tool. It's a totally new way of thinking.
And this quote just nails it. This is the big shift we need to make. It's time to stop looking for the best single tool and start acting like a strategist, building a smart, interconnected system where every tool has a very specific job to do. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll tackle the AI overload problem head-on. Then I'll show you how to build your own AI specialist team. After that, we'll get into some really practical workflows for research, visualization, and creating assets. And finally, we'll look at what all this means for the future. So let's start here. The problem isn't that we don't have enough options. Heck no. The real issue is that we're using all these amazing tools without any real strategy, and it's just leading to scattered work and a lot of wasted time. And honestly, just changing the question you ask yourself can change everything. Asking which AI is best is like asking if a hammer is better than a saw. It depends on the job, right? The real question is, what's the right crew of tools for this specific thing I'm trying to do? Okay, so to answer that, let's completely reframe how we look at these tools. Stop thinking of them as competitors. Instead, start thinking of them as members of your own personal expert AI team. So let's meet the team. ChatGPT, that's your generalist assistant, the jack of all trades. Gemini is your integrated builder, great at connecting different pieces. Then you've got Claude, the visual strategist. Perplexity is your deep dive researcher, and Notebook LM is your knowledge synthesizer, amazing at making sense of sources you provide. Each one has a unique superpower. All right, our team is assembled. Let's put them to work. We're going to start with a few workflow recipes for research and analysis, how to find new info and actually make sense of it all. Now, most of us use ChatGPT for these little one-off chats, right? But this first recipe turns it into a living, breathing knowledge base that just keeps getting smarter about your specific project. You see what's happening here? It's a total mindset shift. By creating a project and feeding it information, you stop being just a user and you become a trainer. You're not just asking questions, you're building a custom AI that really understands what you need, and it gets smarter with every single thing you give it. Okay, that's great. But what about accuracy? What if you need to be absolutely sure your sources are solid and you want to avoid those weird AI hallucinations? Well, for that, we pair our specialized researcher with our knowledge synthesizer. The beauty of this is that you are in total control. You handpick the sources, the exact inputs you trust, and you tell it who to be by assigning a persona. This makes sure the insights you get back are grounded in reality, not some random AI fiction. All right, so we've got solid research, but, a giant wall of text isn't going to convince anybody. So how do we turn all that raw data into powerful visuals that help us make better decisions? This workflow is it's all about speed. Seriously, imagine going from messy, real-world customer complaints on Reddit to a clean, professional-looking infographic in like 5 minutes. It's an unbelievably fast way to see and share what your audience is actually saying. So when it comes to visuals, you've got two key players. Gemini is your sprinter, perfect for those quick, get-it-done-now graphics. Claude, on the other hand, is your strategist. It's for when you need more precision, more depth, and, this is key, something you can use again and again. Now this workflow, this is a total game changer for staying consistent. When you save a dashboard as an asset in a Claude project, you're not just making a graphic, you're building a template. So next month, when a new report comes out, you just feed it into the same project and boom, a perfectly on-brand dashboard every single time. Okay, let's take this all the way to the finish line. We've got our research, we've visualized it. Now it's time to create those final polished assets. We're talking social media graphics, presentations, the whole shebang. And when we talk about creating custom visuals, there's this one specific feature inside Claude that most people just fly right past, but it gives you an insane amount of creative freedom. It's called SVG artifacts. So instead of spitting out a flat, dead JPEG or PNG file, it gives you a fully editable vector graphic.
That means you can open it up in a design tool like Figma and change literally everything: the colors, the fonts, the shapes. No other AI does this quite so well. It's a designer's dream.
So with this workflow, you let your team do the heavy lifting. Your researcher, Perplexity, finds the core ideas. Your visual strategist, Claude, builds the initial design. Then all you have to do is come in at the end and add that final human touch, that final polish.
And what about that one asset we all spend way too much time on? The presentation. Well, your integrated builder Gemini has an incredibly powerful workflow that can pretty much semi-automate the entire process.
I mean, just think about the hours this workflow saves. You're going from a dense 50-page report to a structured, pretty good-looking slide deck in just a few minutes. And the fact that it exports directly into Google Slides, well, that's just the cherry on top. So, we've walked through all these different workflows. What's the big picture here? What's the one idea that ties all of this together?
It really just comes down to these core ideas. Think in systems. Pick the right specialist for the job. Design workflows you can use over and over. And always remember, garbage in, garbage out. The quality of what you create is directly tied to the quality of what you feed the system. It's not about mastering one tool. It's about becoming the creative director of your own AI specialist team. And that really is the question we need to be thinking about. As these tools get smarter and more specialized, our most valuable skill isn't going to be writing the perfect prompt. It's going to be our ability to think strategically, to orchestrate this incredible team, and to direct them to create something truly new. Now that is the future of work.